and that was for scaring birds. And what I mean is along the coast you've got rivers and you've got lakes, and along those waterways you've got water birds like ducks and things, which obviously are good food. But if you come across a flock of ducks sitting on the water of a river, it was pointless trying a weapon into the water and hitting your bird in the water. Because of course both your weapon and your bird are going to fall into the water, and you're going to probably lose both to either currents of the water or to crocodiles. So what they did is they designed the returning boomerangs to throw out behind the flock of birds to literally create a wall of returning boomerangs around the sides and the
I missed that on the camera, that someone's chair just broke on them.
Don't be embarrassed, because it happens quite often. When you put your chairs back after we've done the finished over here, you'll have a look behind there. There's a pile of broken ones like that. I actually arrange one to break every morning just to break up.
Go Adrian. One.
Okay, now what was I saying? Oh yeah, so traditionally the returning boomerang. If say you guys were a flock of birds sitting on a river or a lake, okay, they use the returning boomerangs, like I said, to simply throw out behind the birds. Not just one, but usually a number of them at different levels, to literally create a wall of returning boomerangs around the sides and backs of the birds. That of course would scare the birds off the water and force them to fly over the land. And as they flew over the land, they used these type of boomerangs, which are commonly known as the hunting boomerang, or more correctly called the Kali. These ones were used to throw up into the flock of birds, hitting the bird out of the air, which of course would drop your bird and your boomerang to the ground. Your returning boomerangs come back to the land as well, so you literally get everything back, plus your duck, and you don't get your toes wet or bitten off by crocodiles. And that really was the only use for returning boomerangs. They were simply used as a scaring tool, never actually used for hitting or killing anything. But these ones, though, the hunting boomerang or the Kali, these were used by Aboriginal men all over Australia, and they were used out here for hunting the larger animals like kangaroo and emu. And there's basically two different ways you can throw this type of boomerang. The first way is if your target was in a bit of a clearing, like Skippy is down here, they'd aim with the shoulder and throw the Kali on the side like that. Okay, nice and flat, giving it a good flick with the wrist, which would send it spinning through the air on its side. And that was designed to hit the legs of the animal. So it was thrown quite low to the ground, basically to break the leg of the animal. The other way is if your target was sitting through long grass or bushes, say through here for example, obviously then it's no good throwing it low because it's going to get caught up in the grass. So they then threw it directly over the shoulder like that. Okay, once again flicking it. This time though it was spinning through the air that way, which meant it could fit through the small gap in the grass or in the bush and knock your target out that way. And both ways weren't really designed so much to kill the animal, even though it could, but more so just to injure it or stun it just enough so you could run up and club it across the head to finish it off. Okay? So that's your Kali or hunting boomerang. Okay? Now if you want to have a go at throwing one, a couple of things to remember. First of all, the way you hold it is really important. They need to be held like that. So you're holding sort of the longer, straighter end with the curve of the boomerang pointing in the direction that you're throwing. So if it's that way, it's backwards, it needs to be that way. Okay? When you let it go, it's really important also that you let it go flat, because if it's on an angle, it'll roll over itself and really go nowhere. Okay? And the real trick to it is making them spin. The quicker you get them spinning, the better they're going to fly. And to make it spin, you really need to flick it out of the wrist. So really the power's more on the flick of the wrist than it is in the arm. So if you throw it with a straight arm like that, it's not going to work very well. It needs to be nice little flick. A little bit like skimming stones across the water, that same sort of flicking action. So yeah, the two main things is let it go flat and give it that good flick. Okay, because you'll see lots of ones that don't get let go flat. So I'll give you a demonstration. Aim with the shoulder and flicking it through, something like that. Okay. Now that wasn't real good, but it was not too bad. But you notice how when it flew, it was flying quite smoothly. Okay. But you'll see when you guys throw some, you'll throw it with a bit of an angle on it, and it'll start rolling over itself. And that means you haven't thrown it flat. So it's really important to get it flat and spinning. The other thing you'll notice with that is it didn't come back, and the reason it didn't come back, of course, is because these type of boomerangs were never designed to come back. They're only designed to go in one direction. But I have worked out the way they do come back, and that's if you go and get them. So if you do throw one, make sure you watch where yours goes so we can go out and find them and bring them back for the next round. So if you want to have a go, guys, come and help yourself, grab a Carly and see if you can hit Skippy down there.